Hello, everyone. Welcome to Universal English Guide, where learning English is simple, clear, and enjoyable. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Liam. Hello, everyone. We're really happy to have you here today.
How are you feeling today, Liam?
I'm feeling good. It's one of those calm mornings. I made some coffee, opened the window, and just enjoyed the quiet street. How about you?
Very similar. I set my alarm a little earlier today so I could relax before work. And that word, set, actually connects to our topic.
That's true. Today, we're talking about two very common verbs in English, set and give. But we're not just talking about them in daily life. We're connecting them to something very interesting, historical facts about gifts and tributes.
Yes, gifts, tributes, offerings. Throughout history, people have given objects to leaders, kings, communities, and even other countries. And these verbs, give and set, appear again and again in those stories.
Exactly. So today, we'll explore how give and set work in English, and we'll talk about real historical examples of gifts and tributes.
Let's start with give. That feels easier. When we think of gifts, we think of giving.
Right. In simple daily life, we give a gift to a friend. We give help. We give advice. We give someone a ride.
And historically, leaders gave gifts for political reasons. For example, in 1886, the people of France gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States.
Yes, France gave that statue as a symbol of friendship. It was set in New York Harbor in 1886. Notice how we used both verbs there. France gave the statue, and workers set it in place.
That's a great example. Give focuses on the action of transferring something to someone. Set focuses on placing something carefully in position.
Let's talk about tributes. In ancient times, smaller kingdoms often gave tribute to powerful empires.
For example, during the time of the Roman Empire, many regions gave taxes, gold, food, or soldiers as tribute to Rome. They gave these items regularly to show loyalty.
And sometimes the tribute was set as a fixed amount. For example, a ruler might set the tribute at 100 pieces of gold per year.
That's a really important use of set. When we say someone set a rule or set a price or set a time, we mean they decided it officially.
Exactly. So in history, leaders set taxes, set tribute amounts, and set conditions for peace.
Let's imagine a small historical scene.
Okay.
A messenger arrives at a castle. He says, "Our king gives you silver and grain as a sign of peace."
And the receiving king replies, "We accept your gifts. We will set a meeting next month to discuss trade."
See how natural that sounds?
Very natural. And this shows how give is about offering something, and set often introduces the next step, setting a time, setting terms, setting conditions.
Now let's talk about another historical example. In ancient Egypt, workers set massive stone blocks to build the pyramids.
Yes, they set each stone carefully into place, and many workers gave their labor to the state. They gave time and effort.
That's interesting because give doesn't always mean giving a physical object. You can give time, give support, give attention.
Exactly. During World War II, citizens in many countries gave money, food, and metal to support the war effort. Governments set limits on certain goods and set rules for rationing.
That's a very practical example. Families gave old metal pots and governments set collection days.
And notice something important. With give, we usually say give something to someone.
Yes, that's a helpful point. For example, France gave the statue to the United States. The village gave food to the army.
Sometimes learners forget the to. They might say, France gave the United States the statue, which is actually correct too, but they shouldn't say, France gave to the United States the statue. That sounds unnatural.
Right, so you can say give someone something or give something to someone.
Both are correct, but the word order matters.
Now let's look at set more deeply. Set has many meanings.
Oh yes, so many. You can set a date, set a goal, set a table, set an example.
And historically, leaders set examples by giving generous gifts. For instance, in some African kingdoms, rulers gave gold and textiles to visiting traders. This set a positive tone for trade relationships.
That's a beautiful way to say it. The gift set the tone. That means it created the mood or atmosphere.
Exactly. Set the tone is a very common phrase.
Let's talk about a more modern tribute. In 1912, after the Titanic disaster, many countries gave donations to support families of victims. Organizations set up funds to collect money.
Yes, set up is a phrasal use of set. When you set something up, you organize or create it. For example, they set up a fund, they set up a meeting, they set up a system.
So in that case, people gave money and charities set up support programs.
Another famous example, after Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990, many countries gave awards and honors to him. Ceremonies were set to celebrate his achievements.
And when a government sets a national holiday, it officially chooses a day for celebration.
Yes, the date is set. That means it is decided and fixed.
Let's make this very practical for our listeners. Imagine your town builds a new park. A local company gives money to support the project.
The city council sets a budget. They set a date for opening. On the opening day, they give speeches.
Exactly. These verbs are everywhere in daily life and in history.
Now, let's gently correct a common mistake. Some learners say the government setted the rule.
Ah, yes, that's a common one. Set is irregular, but it doesn't change form. Present, past, and past participle are all set.
So we say the government set the rule yesterday, not setted.
And with give, the past form is gave. For example, they gave tribute last year.
Very good point. Let's continue our historical journey. In ancient China, during certain dynasties, neighboring regions gave silk and precious items as tribute. The emperor set strict rules about how tribute was presented.
Yes, and the ceremony itself set an example of respect and order.
In medieval Europe, knights sometimes gave gifts to their kings before important battles. The king set conditions for loyalty.
And sometimes a king would give land to a loyal knight. He would set boundaries for that land.
Oh, that's a great everyday connection. Even today, governments give land for public projects and set clear limits on how it can be used.
Let's bring this to a neighborhood example. Imagine your neighbor gives you a basket of vegetables from their garden.
That's so nice.
You might set the basket on your kitchen table and give them a thank you card later.
Simple actions, but the same verbs.
Yes, big historical events or small daily life, we still give and set.
Another interesting historical fact, in 1945, after World War II ended, the United States gave financial aid to European countries through the Marshall Plan. This plan set economic recovery in motion. That's a powerful expression, set something in motion. It means to start a process. So the aid gave countries support, and the program set long-term recovery in motion.
Let's pause and think about how flexible these verbs are.
Yes, give can mean transfer, offer, provide, cause. For example, this news gives me hope.
And set can mean place, decide, organize, fix, start. For example, the teacher set homework.
That's true. Teachers set assignments and students give answers.
That's a perfect sentence. Before we finish, let's do one final mini dialogue.
Okay.
A museum director says, "We will give this ancient artifact to the National Museum."
And the curator replies, we will set it in the main hall and set up a special exhibition.
Perfect.
So today we explored how give and set appear in historical facts about gifts and tributes, from the Statue of Liberty to ancient empires, from war donations to neighborhood vegetables.
We saw that leaders gave gifts, citizens gave support, governments set rules, and communities set plans in motion.
These two small verbs are powerful. They help us talk about generosity, authority, decisions, placement, and action.
If you start noticing them in news articles or documentaries, you'll see them everywhere.
We hope this deep conversation helped you feel more confident using give and set naturally.
Try writing your own sentences. For example, what gift would your country give to another country? What goal will you set for yourself this week?
That's a great practice idea.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, subscribe to Universal English Guide, and leave a comment in English.
Tell us one historical gift you learned about today, or make your own example sentence with give or set.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, learning English is a journey you set for yourself, and every day you give a little effort, you move forward.
See you next time.